Okay, class. So in this little video segment, I'm going to show you how you can set up your Illustrator file if you want to trace a sketch or an image for your article. So this is a brand new Illustrator file. The first thing I'm going to do is, make sure my layers window is open. And then I'm going to I'll place a couple images so you can see it. Um, 3 options here that I'm not going to do all of them, but I just wanted to show you how you could use them. So first thing is, here are my layers, right? I'm going to do this layer 1, and I'm actually going to rename it, and I'm going to put art 1. Okay, so right now all of these images are actually in this layer, right? So I'll show you. So here was a paper cutout that I did for a visual, a possible visual. This one is a sketch of a bird, imaginary bird, and this is the moon, and this is like houses. So I could possibly trace that. And this is an image of a dancer, obviously. I found this on Creative Commons. You are supposed to use your own images, but if you're tracing an image, you can actually, trace an image that isn't yours, and the act of you tracing it, you can use it, right? So this is another option. So whether you're doing a sketch, a cutout, or a photograph, these steps are the same. Since I want to make sure that I make the most use of your time in this video, I'm going to select this particular image as my tracing. So I'm just going to move this to the side. They can still share the layer, but I'm going to focus on this. And so I'm going to lock this layer. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a brand new layer. Right? And so now layer 2. And now I can use my pen tool to actually trace parts of like these shapes. And then I can use, like, I'll turn all the layers off, and I'll use the remaining, illustration. I can add a color to the background, but I can use it in my layout, my InDesign layout. So I'll just, get the pen tool. Make sure before you do this, and I almost got carried away. Make sure you save. Okay, so I'm going to start tracing. Before I start tracing, I'm going to make sure that I have a stroke on my pen tool. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And what's most important is make sure that you close all your shapes. Okay. And as you found, with some of your drawing for your user manual, for you to make a curved shape, you click and you drag. You can see how that is applied when it's a shape that's not perfectly in angles. Make sure you go back to that first point so you close that shape. I actually like the variety in the shape, and that's why I did a paper cutout. Right? The more practice, the better you will get. It's really just being familiar with the tools. If your shape does not have any curves, then you could be moving, you know, with those angles much quicker than I. But your objective is to make sure that all of your shapes are closed so you can actually fill them in, right? And to fill them in, you'll select that object, and here's the coloring. So right now I have a fill, no fill, and a black stroke. So I can swap this. And if I want to color this in a different color, the same for this. And same for this. The key command for swapping the colors is Shift X if you're curious. Okay. You can see kind of like if I turn off that image layer, this is what it looks like. Okay. I'm going to do other arm really quickly so you can see how I'll place it in my InDesign document. Right, if this happens to you, can you kind of see how it looks kind of weird? Right here, this is the fill. So if you want, you can, while you're still in the pen tool, you can just swap it and it will make the fill go away. So this would apply too if it was an image. This is a paper cutout, right? Or if it was a sketch. Similar to what you guys, did for your logos, but this time you actually get a little bit more creativity in the shapes. Let's do these slides really quick. And I am using a mouse to help me trace. I find it makes using the pen tool a little bit easier than my trackpad, but I know many of you may not have a mouse. The trackpad seems to work nicely for you guys. So again, that key command for swapping fill and stroke was Shift X. Save, Command S. All right, and you can see it's a little bit quick because I didn't want to make this video too long. But you can kind of see how it's, now isolated. And then from here, I can change the different colors, give it some variety. All right, and I will save it. And I will bring it into my InDesign layout. So let's say I'm actually going to replace this city skyline. Actually, I think I will use my dancing tracing in this layout. These are my kind of rough sketches. And I'm going to put place. I'm going to find that EPS, right? And you can see I'm going to drop it in. If when you drop in your EPS, sometimes it looks a little bit pixelated, it's not the file, it's actually just the viewing option in InDesign. So you can do view over print preview and it should crisp everything up. Mine looks pretty good at the moment. But I know that's something that you guys have encountered. Since it's an Illustrator file, it is resolution free. So I can actually make it pretty large and kind of have it interact with my elements here. If I want, I can kind of have this paragraph. I think, let's see. I was going to try to, all right, okay. Thinking. You make sure you're saving along the way. I'm going to move this over and I think I will, move this text box to this side instead. Right? Once you add your images, sometimes you have to redo a lot of things, so that's okay. Put this over here. I want that texture. And since I don't want the text to be cut off, just the kerning of things. And same thing. there. I'll move this really quick out of the way. Maybe I don't want it as large. And then this can get a little bit bigger. This is strange since it's just right at that break. So usually you either are going to try and make it bigger and break that space. Sometimes it works. And sometimes you just have to right? So this is how you can use a vector graphic in your layout. So, you can trace it, save it out as an EPS, and then place it into your InDesign document. So, couple options for you. So hopefully you get a chance to be really, have fun, be creative with your layout. Use, a grid, white space is always nice. And make sure that you have your text readable, right? So I know colored backgrounds are very popular, but make sure it's not too dark, right? That's not enough contrast. So you can fix that by either making the text lighter, right? Or making that block not as dark. All right, so hope that gave you guys a couple of ideas. So you can use Illustrator in your visuals as well. Okay, all right, thank you.